Gonna do collective energy read. Come on in, say hello. Let me know how it's going, where you're from, what's going on. Hello, hello. Come on in, let me know how it's going. The only thing is, it's Saturday night, so if you're coming in, don't be a troll. Okay, a little bit of nostalgia, so be kind with yourself and everyone else. Don't make it harder. Make me laugh. Alright, so let me know how it's going. The energy has been super crazy in the last few days. Let me know if you're feeling it. Okay. Hello, hello. So we have Ace of Wands. I'm Lara Jo. Come on in. We're doing collective energy reads. Drop a hello. Let me know where you're from, how it's going, how you're handling everything that's going on planet Earth today, because it is cray. All right. Ace of Wands. So we're following like our passions, right? We have to chase our dreams. So I just purchased this dog deck and I freaking love it. Although one of my cats apparently has beef with Geminis and Virgos because they tore up my 2 cards, and I was like, oh, okay. Okay, so Ace of Wands, we're chasing our passion, right? Like we're doing the thing that makes us move. The challenge, though, I feel like with 3 of Cups, you were being all entangled with other parties, right? You had too many people you were trying to manage and kind of deal with, and it had been keeping you out of intuitive energy because we have High Priestess, Hangman, along with 3 of Cups. So it's like we stopped seeing things from a different perspective because other people were trying to make us see what they wanted us to see. So also with 9 of Pentacles and the Magician in reverse, it's like we were chasing other people's passions, right? So it's okay, we have to reverse back and be like, okay, I'm a priority. What I want is a priority too. So stop getting entangled with other people's drama. 7 of Cups and 8 of Cups. So 7 of Cups is having options and choices, and 8 of Cups is kind of going on the same ride over and over. So 7 of Cups is like when you're looking at your choices, does this partnership feel like I'm entangled with other people that I don't want to be entangled with? So you have to start deciding, like, do I want to go through another loop of options and choices and new meetings and other parties? So if you want to be chasing your passions, right? Wind in your hair, Ace of Wands, that's living your best life, whether it be running down the beach. You have to decide, okay, what do I want intuitively? And I have to start moving that way. So when you start moving for you, people start going, oh no, you can't do that. What about me? No. If they don't have good intentions of your life, if they're just looking for a come up or they're looking for a placeholder, you need to be like, this is not worth my time. Stop giving away your precious emotions, because that's what cups are. Stop giving away to people that aren't worthy of drinking at your table, okay? Not everybody is your friend. King of Pentacles and 8 of Swords. So King of Pentacles could be Earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Like, he's very well set up in life. But 8 of Swords, it's mental confusion. And I love this card, like, exemplifies that. It's that breadcrumb energy. Yeah, we can fill up on dog treats and biscuits all day long, yet it doesn't actually fulfill us. So 8 of Swords is getting out of your head, being realistic about what is truly for you and what causes chaos and confusion. So if you've been dealing with someone who has been leaving you feeling like, okay, this is not enough to maintain what I want in life, you need to go, my loves. And start looking at people. If you were like, you have to start looking at people and realizing that they're bad friends. You're like, friends wouldn't do that to people that they truly love. Like, girl code, I was talking to somebody, and one of their friends had dated their ex, and it's like, yeah, people that truly love you won't date your ex. So realizing who is truly looking for an opportunity and who is truly for you, and making those decisions. Yeah, it hurts to cut people off, yet it's better to cut people off than to have them stab you in the back, because it really hurts, because you got the messages before that they were no good for you, right? We get messages along the way. We just look at the red flags and we think, oh, that's not that big a deal, or oh, I'll be able to change them. No, you can't, right? Things don't change, so you have to be willing, like, okay, if I don't like this behavior, I have to let them go. So Eight of Swords is saying, I'm no longer going to tolerate bad people, bad food, bad friends. So Eight of Swords is letting go of those, regardless of who they are to you. Ace of Wands, again, so we're going to be chasing our passions, right? Like, throwing the cares of the winds and saying, you know what, I just gotta go. If they're not with me, I can't stop the bus for them. Okay, Hierophant. So this is Taurus energy. So this is also higher knowledge or institutions. So realizing, okay, if this feels like a cage, or maybe you need structure, so you have to sit it where it fits it. But the Hierophant is saying, okay, you know what, maybe if this feels like a cage, maybe it's time to change my view and start doing different things. Or this is also maybe looking to it and saying, okay, how do I need to find structure or educate myself? So Hierophant is realizing, and with that energy, it's like Ace of Wands, realizing, okay, I'm going to chase what I want to learn and know. So if you're wanting to go to school, that's where Ace of Wands and Hierophant, I feel pairs, is saying, okay, I need to do that thing. Because you may not be presented with that opportunity again. A little story time. I had been put on the wait list to be a radiation therapy student, and there was a very small window, unbeknownst to me, but a very small window in which they offered the class in the valley, and I passed it up because I had a newborn baby. She was like 4 months old. But it was one of those that I never got the opportunity again, and I kind of look at it and go, I wish I had figured a way to make it work to be in school and have 2 young kids. Yet at the same time, it wasn't manageable. So Hierophant and Ace of Wands is asking you, okay, if you want to learn that thing, learn it by the book, but take the opportunity when it's provided to you. Okay, so Four of Cups, noticing who wasn't there for you when you were struggling. Stop giving people the benefit of the doubt, right? If they know you're struggling, where were they? They were off laughing with everyone else. And that's what Four of Cups is saying, is they were having a fun time while you were being kind of left to your own devices. All right, and Five of Cups, they were off. Okay, yes, I love how they pair together. So Four of Cups and Five of Cups, you were over here tangled, not, like, where's my pack? And Five of Cups, they were off on that walk without you. So realizing, okay, I can do this by myself. I don't need them. And realizing who isn't for you and who left you behind. Okay, Ace of Swords, head over heart. From a Queen of Swords, I'm going to give this advice. We start placing people based on how they make us feel, not how we feel about them, right? If people make us feel like we're not welcome, we can love you, but if you make us feel like we're unwelcome, we're going to take off. So Ace of Swords is using head over heart, logic and decision and strategy. It may hurt for a minute, but it's better than long-term damage. So Ace of Swords is asking you, look at it with a critical eye of logic, okay? Because the moon, you're not seeing everything, okay? Jay, we're doing a collective energy read, babe. So if you come in, you sit down, and you like, okay, this message resonates, then there's something in there for you, but I can't give you, like, you're going to have to sit and listen to it. Okay, so Moon, there are things you're not seeing. So Jay, what I want you to say is, even if she misses you, if she's not showing up, I need you to make the head over heart decision and go live your life, babes. Okay? Because Ace of Swords, this is using logic and saying, maybe I'm not seeing everything going on here. This is an example. So, if you have dogs and maybe they're out barking, but you can't see that there's a cat on the wall that's taunting them. So the moon is like, you may not understand why something's going on or why someone's reacting because you can't see everything that's hidden in the dark. So Ace of Swords is saying, I'm going to make decisions based on what I can see. So if she's not coming back or if she doesn't miss you, I need you to keep moving in the most loving of ways, right? So this is, if you can't see everything, you need to make a decision based on what you can see. And if she's not in your immediate presence, I need you to keep building your life. We can't wait for anyone any longer. Like I hate it, but I love it. Like, we cannot wait for other people to grow up and step up. So it's saying, okay, with or without, I love you, I release you with peace, but if you can't, because not everybody is meant to come with you on your journey, right? There are some people that if you took them to the places that you're meant to go, they would ruin the experience. So realizing, like, I love you, but this is where we have to say our goodbyes, not because we're not cool, but because you can't go to this place and not ruin it for everyone. Okay? And that's not, it does. Okay, Ten of Pentacles. Once you make these head over heart decisions, even though you can't see what all the other people have on the playing board. So this is where you have to understand, you have to heal without apologies. Or you have to heal without explanations. Or you have to move on without explanations. I know a lot of people want, like, closure. And it's like, sometimes you just have to say, I don't know. And then it will be revealed to you later. Ten of Pentacles. A lot of times when we don't understand why something's not coming together, it's because there is something behind the scenes. And when it's revealed to you, you're like, I am so happy that I was not sitting in that seat when that thing happened. So rejection is protection. That is something I've learned along the way. It's like, oh, they don't want to hang out with me. No, they're doing things you don't want to get caught for. And I had to tell someone yesterday, I was like, you need to not go, like, you, thank you. Please be safe. Ganye. Okay. Hello, Sasa. How are you, baby? Sometimes you have to leave people where they're at, right? You're just like, you know what? I love you, but I am not doing anything crazy for you. I had to tell this lady yesterday. I was like, you do not look good in orange, and they do not serve what you want to eat in prison, so do not go down for a dusty-ass man that knows better. So please, my friends, I love you, but if it's you or them, I need you to choose you. And if you have to fight for your life, I need you to fight like you're the third monkey on the ramp and the waters are rising, right? You came here to do something big. Stop letting other people steal your joy, steal your love, everything. Because I had to tell this lady, she showed up and I could just feel like the pain on her. And I was like, girl, I'm like, you need to stop carrying everybody else's expectations of who you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing, how your life is supposed to look. I go, you're wearing the robes and the layers of your mom, your dad, your brother, your kids. Like, stop. Because at what point do you get to be you? And I asked her, I was like, when was the last time, I go, or have you ever just rolled the windows down, turn the music up, and just screamed your lungs out? And she's like, I don't think I ever have. And I was like, this is my homework to you, because I love to give homework. Anybody that knows me, and I get homework too. When I'm given an assignment, I'm like, okay, well, Lara has to go do her homework because she's, this is school for everyone. I'm learning with you guys. So I'm like, your mission, should you choose to accept this healing journey, is to roll the windows down, put the music up, and just scream everything out until you have nothing more. Because you carry all of this on you, yet what is it actually helping you do? So you have to let that go. The way we help get rid of stress is through audible noise. That's why I love breath work, because that's a way of releasing stress. That's why when you heavy sigh and people don't like it, it's because you're releasing stress, and they know you're stressed, but they don't want to acknowledge that they're the reason for it. So start breathing, right? Taking up space. You came here to fight for a reason. So let's start remembering that. Okay, when you're feeling, because a lot of people are feeling so scattered, right? So it's grounding. How can you tap back into your body? When your mind goes like, oh my gosh, no, it's relaxing back into your body, right? You have made it through 100% of your hardest days. Even when you didn't know how it was going to look the next day, you made it, right? So knowing that you too will get through this moment, and this is just a moment in time. And even if it were to end all right now, would that be the worst thing that happens? I have to ask one of my kids, I'm like, but did you die? Right? There are worse things that can happen. So start putting things into perspective and realizing, okay, you know what? I've gotten through harder things. Why am I sweating over this? Because in the grand scheme of things, it's all going to work out way better than you realize. Okay. It always does. Think of that. When you go back mentally to a hard time, it always worked out. Even though it didn't work out maybe the best, right? It did work out better than you thought it might have. So stop catastrophizing. Get out of your head. Get your feet on the ground. Start grounding in, breathing, rest, drink water, meditate. When everybody else gets crazy, I need you to get calm. So that way you can actually make a mental plan before you move forward. I deal with a lot of fiery, passionate, warrior type of energies. I'm like, hey man, you need to get a clear head to assess the board before you actually, pounce forward. So instead of just, rawr, you need to take a minute and assess the situation, because then you know how to proceed. So, realizing sometimes it's not the reaction you need to get into the response, not the reaction. So Hierophant, King of Pentacles, and Eight of Swords. This feels like structure. So father figures, right? Institutions, like that idea that we have to please our father, because the Eight of Swords is that mental chaos. So if in Hierophant is Taurus, so it's higher knowledge, it's authority, it's all of that jazz. That's like the Pope. So Hierophant is kind of the all-knowing. Well, realizing, okay, maybe they lied to me. Maybe I need to take another look at this. But also realizing you can't save them, so you got to keep moving in this moment. Sometimes you just have to write people off and be like, they were fucked up people. Like, I look at my mom, and we had a very tenuous relationship our whole entire life. And I had to finally start realizing, like, and she has since passed, and realizing my mom was a damaged girl having babies. So as much as I want to bellow at the moon and scream and cry, and as many scars as I carry as a daughter, I also have to give up. I also have to realize, like, she too went through this. So maybe I can just stop being such a bitch about it sometimes, right? Realizing, okay, you know what? Because we want people to be gentle on us, so why can't we actually give them grace too? Truly, like the people we love the most. We are more alike than we are different, so why do we see enemies everywhere we go? We all have the same needs. We all have the same desires. More or less, like some of the details maybe a little different, yet we all wish to seek with the sun. And I love it because it's a corgi butt. The sun is saying we all wish to have the sun shining on our cheeks and feeling the breeze in our fur or in our hair and going, okay, life is good, because the sun comes out every day. Rain or shine, the sun's always there. Even when you complain about the sun, it still shows up. So be as brave as the sun and show up every day, even when everyone complains about you, right? Because you're going to find happiness, right? You'll find happiness again. So even if that means having to let go of people that you didn't want to let go of, that is a huge challenge. I've done a lot of shedding. I've lost 90 pounds, and I realized that today. In that loss of 90 pounds, that was like 90 different versions of other people that I had adopted to make them feel more comfortable with my presence. Because if I were anything shiny or beautiful, or they would have attacked. So that's 90 pounds of other people that I've said, okay, I had to wear this so that you would be okay with me. And no. You have to be willing to be you even when no one else understands you. Okay. If this is helping you, please let me know. Hello. Hey, Droovy, how are you? Oh, girl. Okay, Empress. So Taurus, Venus energy. It's been weird. Do you really want to know? Because the High Priestess adventures have been crazy. Just crazy, synchronistic, and just helping people. Okay. All right, I am actually, so. Okay, I am a dreamer. In the last week, since the full moon, I have had 3 dreams. and I have prophetic dreams, and sometimes my dreams typically come true within about 6 months. So I had 3 very ominous, but I've already called it back-to-back dreams, with today being one of them. So let's backtrack a little. Divine intervention, divine timing is big at play. And I'm a huge one of, I don't always I was thinking about this because I'm like, people try to understand my mission. I'm like, I don't always understand my mission, because a lot of times I go do the thing without anything, and then afterwards I learn why. So, to set the stage a little, I had a candle that I was going to imbue for one of the people that I work with regularly. He's like a guy he has a lot of family trauma. He reminds me a lot of my brothers. He's an earth sign. It's very synchronistic. And when I made a birthday candle for myself, so I made a birthday candle for myself, and I told him, I'm like, hey, because he listens to the things I talk about astrologically. He does rituals and stuff. Like, he really does get it. He does the healing. Like, he's done a lot with his mom, everything. I love it. So I told him, I was like, okay, I'm going to dress this candle for you. And some things happen. Like, a lot of things happen. And I had been running behind on it, and I hadn't felt like it. And this is where it's like, I know I need to get it done, but sometimes it takes a little bit to get there, but there's a reason. So he has a lot of problems with his dad. His dad's recently fallen sick. So yesterday morning, and like I say, I've had dreams. So that was like, I've had a few dreams up to this point. And yesterday morning, it was put on my heart to do the candle for him. Like, immediately. I was like, I gotta get up, I gotta get this dress. I put intention to it, but not quite as much as I needed to, and I felt a way about it. But then I realized also, like, it doesn't matter because I made it, and I put my intention into it, and it didn't have to be freaking perfect. It just had to be real. So, woke up with it on my heart to make, to do this and to get it to him. So I do it really quick. It's like 11:30. He starts work at 11. It's like 11:30. I'm like, I gotta get in there and get it to him. I wrapped it kind of weirdly, but whatever. So I show up, and he is sitting, and he's had an accident, and he was about to go home. He's like, yeah, I'm just about to go home. I had this thing, la 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 la. I took a quick look at it. I kind of addressed like, hey, okay. But I gave him the candle, and then I went home, and I sent him a message, and I gave him some information. I was like, okay. So it was one of those, like, don't understand why. Like, I knew I had to do the thing for him, but then it was like yesterday, and it's like divine timing, because I got there right before he went home, and because he had to wait for somebody else to come in right before he got home, and I got to give him the candle, so I knew that he was going to have time, because he doesn't have a lot of time, it feels. And I was like, okay, well, this is a good point, because now you're kind of sat still because of this thing, and you have this candle, you can process what went on. So then go on, and then last night, so again, never understand why things happen, but we digress. So last night I was having problems with something, and somebody showed up, and we were chit-chatting, and we were talking about life, and I was like, hey girl, that's where I tie into like, hey girl, like, no man's worth wearing orange over, right? No dusty man is ever worth wearing orange over, and they don't serve what you like in prison. So, like, start getting rid of these men that bring down your vibration, and in whether they say it or not, but you can feel, I'm like, your kids, they're grown enough that they made their bed, so you gotta start giving, like, when people fuck up, you have to let them fuck up, because if you're constantly fixing them or saving them, they're never going to learn how to problem solve. They're never going to learn how, like, hey, don't do these things because it puts you in bad situations. So it was one of those, and it was late at night, and she was like, you don't know how much I need to hear these words. And that's the thing, is I never understand, because I had huge problems, and then they showed up, and she was like, I needed this message. I was talking about it with one of my people, and I was like, hey, I go, I don't understand, but I do understand that when people need the message, like, something will happen, even though it's like an inconvenience for me, or it goes off straight and I don't understand it. It's like, okay, because that was one of those women that was like, she was like on fumes. And sometimes we just need someone to understand us or hear us or see us and say, you know what, sister, like, put your shit down. It's okay to scream your lungs out. It's okay to feel. And here's this challenge: you cannot heal it till you feel it. Right? If you never admit that that thing hurt, whether it be an actual physical injury or whether it be an emotional injury, if you never admit it hurt, you can't ever actually heal. So stop going around with these dents in your armor and saying, no, I'm fine, everything's fine, whether it be with family. Like that thing that your family said, if it hurt, like address it. And if they don't want to address it, you need to keep moving. But you need to sit and say, you know what, I'm not okay with this. I don't like this. I don't like when people treat me like this. Like, I'm no longer going to tolerate that from myself or from others. So realizing, okay, if we truly want to get somewhere, we have to start saying, you know what, I'm not okay with this happening. Right? Because these are, and it's the whole also, like, if that person wouldn't be able to handle what they gave to you, why are you tolerating it from them? Because the second, and I learned this because I had someone who played so hard for so long, and then I finally started giving them back what they were giving to me, and then all of a sudden, they don't like the meal, and I was like, no, man, I took this for years, sometimes even decades, but the second I give you a teaspoon, you're not cool. So that's as well. If you knew, like, if you know that they definitely would, like, cross the line, you just gotta say, you know what, I can't keep doing this with you. Like, I will fully, completely leave you behind. Because we don't do that here. Yeah. And Druvy, that's a huge part of my lesson recently, is learning boundaries and realizing, okay, boundaries are healthy, because that is the thing. People want to say, oh, boundaries are a punishment. No, it's just saying that if we cross this line, this behavior is unacceptable and I gotta go. And again, that's not punishment. That's just saying that your actions have consequences, right? And it's also, for us even, it's saying, okay, I recognize my own personal line in the sand, that if we get across this, I'm in danger, right? That's loving for yourself. That's saying, you know what, and I had a challenge because I have a lot of family dynamics, and I had a challenge where it was like shame and guilt. They were trying to corner me into shame and guilt, and I was like, you know what, I know myself well enough now that every time I go around these people, every time I'm in this environment, I don't feel well. Like, I've proven that, is that I've gone and I feel instantly sick within landing on the soil and being out. Like, the weather, the everything about it makes me sick. And like, I know that I feel sick every time I go there. It's not a welcoming environment for me. I don't thrive there. I don't feel good, anything like that. I'm not for certain, Druvy. I've been doing a lot of other things, so maybe yes, maybe no. I am one of those, I catch you when I catch you. Anyway, so they were trying to family guilt me, and I was like, I understand what you're trying to do, and I also understand that you're trying to corner me into a situation that you know intentionally makes me sick. And while I do feel guilt, and while I do feel like I'm missing out, I am also going to respect myself and love my kids enough to not put myself in a situation where I'm going to act out of character because I'm feeling unwell. So realizing with that is, okay, choosing our own happiness. And while I got a hard time for it, I also know that it earned major respect in other ways, because it's like, no, you know what? My boundaries are non-negotiable. And that's not trying to be difficult. That's saying, no, you guys don't treat me right, or I don't fit in this environment, and I'm no longer going to keep putting myself there, because it's better to stay home than accept the invite and get sick or potentially get hurt. Because, yeah. So realizing, okay, I would rather sit this one out than make myself sick or crash out or feel like I'm not welcome. All right. Home shouldn't feel like hell, and if it does feel like hell, it's time to find a new zip code. Okay. ironically, okay, so the artist plane is the hometown I live in right now, and I'm like, no, it feels like hell here. The Hermit. Okay. Going within, finding safety, sanctuary, Virgo energy, saying, you know what? I'm gonna be cautious, yet I'm gonna take care of me, and everybody else can worry about themselves. Hermit typically comes with like turtle shell energy. It's that self-contained saying, I'm gonna find my way, right? Okay. All right. Empress. Yes, you have to figure out what you love, what you want, who you want to be with. The devil, and the devil isn't demonic. It's just saying addictions, it's patterns. It's like, what are you getting stuck in that's keeping you from loving yourself the best way possible? Right? Your royalty. Why do you keep falling for the traps? The distractions, especially because this is the dog tarot, so this is that whole, like, the cat of course would be the devil, because it's like, okay, you were chasing cats when you should have been resting, so stop chasing cats. Okay, so Queen of Wands, enjoying your happiness, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, enjoying your happiness and realizing anything outside of you is not worth chasing. I promise. All right, the sun on the bottom. Heavy fire energy. Yesterday was a very magical, all over the place, but ending up in places that I apparently need to be. So I guess that's the weirdness. Keep showing up, even when it doesn't make sense, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, push through to the next day. All right, lovers, Gemini energy. You're about to find that person, right, that you want to hang out with forever. So keep going. Don't let your past scare you out of your future. Okay? You do have to let go of the things that keep you from growing, though. So outdated places, addictions, outdated people. Okay? Hello, hello. 9 of Wands, putting down the burdens there for everyone else. If it feels like a cage, or if it feels like you're chasing things that you shouldn't be chasing, it's time to let it go. Stop. Let it go. Let it go. Okay, Page of Wands. Yeah. Just having play. Like, okay. I tell my kids all the time. I tell men. I tell clients. I tell everyone. I'm like, we don't chase. We attract. Because when you chase something, A, it either thinks it's a game, or B, it's going to be scared and it's going to take off, right? If something's chasing you, obviously you're going to run because you don't realize why it's chasing you. So we don't chase because if it's meant to be with you, it's going to come back to you. So I don't chase men, I don't chase dogs, I don't chase my kids, right? Because again, they either think it's a game or they're scared. In either way, they're always going to be faster than you. So stop chasing things that are not chasing you, right? Hanged Man, change your perspective. Also, I'm going to say something. That's me. Right. We enjoy emotionally unavailable partners, A, because we feel like we're unlovable. But B, it's like, we don't want anybody to know the true us because we feel unlovable. So it's like, if they're emotionally unavailable, it's they were emotionally unavailable. No, you're emotionally unavailable. Okay? So start becoming emotionally available for yourself. When the things come up, don't run scared, right? Sit with yourself. You're a really cool person, I promise. You have to learn that, though. You can't just judgment and Page Wands. Yeah. Stop chasing every dog. Stop chasing every stick. Sometimes rest is important. So judgment, if they left you without like kibble in your bowl and you're meant to have a special diet, right? Judgment is saying, no, we don't hang around here because it doesn't help me thrive. I am a poodle. You are a page. This is the judgment. Or like, no more. I miss dinner when I chase you. Okay? Please let me know if any of this helps. If it resonates. Stop chasing bones. that aren't meant for you. Four of Wands, rest, rest, rest. Because Four of Wands, that's your home, that's your stability. And if you're too busy chasing other things, you can't actually see the things at home going wrong. So Four of Wands is asking you to build your happiness, your stability. And if you don't know, like if you don't have anything, are you dreaming of what to build? Because if you don't even know what to dream of, then how can you build it, right? We always say, like, and I'm guilty of this, right? I don't ever call out shit I'm not guilty of, right? We say we want this thing, but what does it even look like? If you don't even know what it looks like, how are you going to know that it's your thing when it arrives? So Four of Wands is asking you, what does home look like for you? What does stability look like for you? What does union look like for you? Because if it looks like chaos and fighting and pain and whatever, that's not home, that's hell. Right? So realizing, what do I want to build my stability on? And if it's found, like if your previous foundation was quicksand, then you know, okay, I have to reinforce this. I have to do the work. I have to figure out what it is I need to actually be building on or for. Okay. The sun will come out tomorrow. All right. Repeating. Heavy fire energy though, and King of Pentacles. So King of Pentacles, the Fool, Aries, it's saying I'm gonna set on a new adventure. I know that the institutional side, because then we got the Hierophant again. Okay, this is an example. I was in an argument with someone and they're like, well, this way worked. And I go, no, it didn't. It worked for you. I go, and it doesn't work for anyone, truly. So it's saying I would rather choose the new adventure with the Fool. I'll take myself on a walk. And I have very independent, sassy children. So yes, they literally, and dogs too. They're like, you know what? I'm taking myself out. A new adventure. It's saying, okay, I'd rather take this new adventure and see what the sun has to provide for me, Leo energy, Aries energy, than being stuck in the home with this stuffy tradition. Okay? The sun is wherever you are. The experience is wherever you are. So stop being afraid and going back to what didn't work. Like when you look at your parents' marriage, if it didn't work, why are you still trying to be better than your mom? Be brave enough to forge a new path. Or why are you trying to be better than your dad? Like you take the best and leave the rest. So it's saying, okay, I take the knowledge that I have with me. The Fool is saying, okay, I'm going to take that knowledge that I was given. I'm going to go find that happiness anywhere. Someone that can find happiness anywhere is unstoppable, I promise. Even when it's bad, you can still find happiness. You're like, oh. Okay, so there's a joke, because I come from Arizona originally. It's hot. And there's a joke, it's like Arizonans in hell, and they talk about like, whew, it's actually cold in here. Like somebody turned up the thermostat. It's like, yes, because we can rationalize. It's like people say, oh, this is so hot or this is hell. Well, we've lived in literal hell, so come again with another thing. Like you think you're scaring us? So realizing I'm going to find the happiness. I'm going to find the way to rationalize. And also, though, sometimes you just have to be daring, be bold. Do the dang thing. Hermit, rest is imperative, though. You know how to heal yourself better than anyone else. So listen to your body, listen to yourself. And if you don't know how to do that yet, come work with me, because I teach somatic healing. It's like your body will tell you what is going wrong. Hermit, though, you have to be brave enough to listen. I work with a lot of people and they just keep, and myself as well. So that's also when you guys come to me, that's because like I know how to troubleshoot this, because I myself have done that, right? If we're in the same vibration, when you guys come to me, it's like, okay, I've experienced this, or I'm experiencing this, or we're yet to come, we're going to problem solve this. The Hermit's saying, okay, I'm going to take care of me, because that's all I can do. So resting and realizing, even though it feels solitary, no, you've got a friend, okay? That's you. That's your higher self, it may be. Hermit's got Hermit. Like Virgo's got Virgo, regardless of if anybody else shows up. So be grounded, be stable. Even if no one else shows up, you've got you, okay? The Fool. Going out on your own. taking the risk, taking the gamble, saying, okay, anything out there is better than anything in here. That's part of that. It's like, okay, I know how this works out if I stay in this situation. That's like official person. And that's also, you can typically speak on a story because it's your story. So official person, when people want to doubt like why, you decide a new path, no, you have the answers to why you chose to do something different. So stop letting people also question your authority in it. No, you lived through it. That's your authority. That's what makes you an official on what happened, right? When you go through DV, and I know this is a trigger, but when you go through it, that's what makes you official on it. Not a therapist, not a doctor. Like, no, if you've gone through it, that's what makes you official. So stop letting people diminish you because they just want to control the narrative. Okay, so be willing to walk out on your own. All right, mature woman. Realizing mama wasn't always right. She had outdated patterns and she refused to grow. When you break generational curses, people always get angry. And the reason being is they were given the same opportunities as you were, but they chose not to do anything. They chose to perpetuate the pain, which means that they also have to pay the debt for that. You were given the opportunities and you said, you know what, the pain stops with me. And they get mad because even though they could have done it, they didn't. So when you look at people and they get mad at you for choosing to be different, that's their own problem. Like alcohol addiction, right? I talk about alcohol addiction. People say, oh, well, you're like, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you could have stopped drinking and you chose not to. So don't get mad at me for being brave enough to choose that. Even though society and, everybody says, oh, you have to have a drink or why don't you drink? You know what? It's not your goddamn business why I don't drink. But if you want to know, we can talk about it. Other than that, you have to start telling people, I don't owe you an explanation. I don't answer to you. If you don't respect someone's life decisions, you don't have to respect their opinions on your life, right? Like, if they couldn't sit a minute in your seat, why are you crumbling over what you have to say? Come on now. People want to be you until they actually have to eat the pie. And then they're like, oh, how did you get through this? No, you get to eat that. You wanted to be me so bad? Be me. Okay. By the book, it came out sideways though. People were trying to cut routes. They wanted the good stuff, but they didn't want to honor how we got there, right? So by the book sideways, it's saying, okay, even if our elder messed up, this as well. I have a lot of things, but I have people, so hopefully right? We're meant to have justice. And sometimes the challenge is in seeing justice play out, is in seeing how it all works out and realizing that, yeah, there are people you may have to actually press charges against, right? So you have to wrap your mind around, like, these are people that I went to school with. These are people that I love dearly. This was someone that I called kin. And now I have to sit and actually say, yeah, I want them to be held accountable for this. So realizing, okay, it's going to be a challenge, but you can't cut corners on that either. So if justice is coming to you, you have to watch it play out. And we always say, like, yeah, I want justice until you see the long-term effects. Yet you have to be brave because it's not just you, right, that's getting justice. It's everyone that was the survivor of that person's actions, your children, your family members, your community members, everyone. So realizing, okay, no, I have to do this thing. It's a hard call, yet if I don't do it, this is never going to stop. So, okay. Soulmates in reverse. And with mature woman and soulmates in reverse and by the book sideways, this has that vibration of jealousy, like mom didn't do the thing, yet she wants to be spiteful because you do the thing. Or dad. It works with dad too. So realizing, okay, so it feels like that reverse Snow White with the soulmates in reverse. If you were meant to have a great love and your mom didn't, of course she's going to stand in the way of that. So realizing, no, she doesn't get to have your thing because she feels a way, right? Orphan in reverse. When you feel all alone and yet you're completely surrounded. Okay. It's okay. And then flexible. Keep moving. Keep being able to go and grow with the flow. So the challenge, right? Those that cannot go with the flow become obsolete because they become too rigid to keep going. So it's realizing, okay, what do we bring with us? What do we let go of? Right? If it resonates, let it resonate. If it does not, let it go. Okay, message of concern. What are you forgetting to listen to that the universe may be trying to tell you? All right. And I'm going to pull just however many cards come out of the Andromeda sky, and then I'm going to hop out because, yeah. Okay. There's so much I want to tell you. Okay. So message of concern, and there's so much I want to tell you. So you've probably stopped, and we started out with it, it's like you've probably stopped listening to your intuition because other people were muddying the water. So, okay, there's so much I want to tell you. There are a lot of things that you didn't get to see. I always tell people, I'm like, you know what? When I catch up with my person, we're going to have the next, because I know I'm supposed to live for a very long time. I'm like, we're going to be living and chatting a very long time because there's a lot to talk about. We could feel every day for the next 50 some odd years and still have a lot to talk about. So there were things that you were not seeing. You were ignoring your intuition. You were like, wait. So the universe has been trying to send you messages. It's like your extended car warranty. You know, and they're like, we're trying to reach you about, no, the universe is like, hey, we got a lot to chat about. Like, why are you talking? This is the other part. If you're constantly asking why and you're not quiet, how can anything answer you? Right? I had a friend from high school, and this is what bothered me. She was trying to get, it felt like she was trying to get, like, my strategy on something. I was like, I don't like this, but I said, I called it. I was like, so you keep asking and screaming and crying. You keep asking the ancestors to answer your question, yet if all you're doing is screaming and crying and asking why, the ancestors can't get through to you because they can't speak, because you can't hear them. So you can be over here asking why, or I want, or where, and why, and yet if you're always screaming, how can you get the messages? It's like if you're always throwing a tantrum, how are you going to receive a present? Or the universe, if every time you get a present you say, ugh, it's not what I want, why would the universe keep showing up to give you presents? Right? If you want that thing the most, yet you keep denying it, how are you ever going to receive it? Message of concern. And ancestors, when you're, okay, so I'm a hard head, right? Hard head makes a soft ass, and obviously I have a pain threshold, but that being said, when you don't listen, the universe will get aggressive. So if you're constantly moving and you refuse to sit down, the universe will trip you up so that you have to sit down. Because if you keep going ahead like that, you're going to be in bigger trouble. So the universe will start screaming at you if you don't listen. Like, they'll come through music, they'll come through animals, they'll come through other people, they'll come through movie references, everything like that. So one of those, if something's trying to get your attention, you need to actually sit down and listen to the message, because you may be missing something very important that could save you. So become the observer. Toxicity, yes. Look at the toxicity in your life, in your mind, in your family, in your work environment, and start saying, okay, Is this is the other thing. If you have not learned from 2020, I started looking at places and I was like, this is not the place I'm going down for, right? Like, this is not the place I'm dying for. Like, after COVID, I was like, this is not the company that I want to lose my life and be on my, because of this stupid company. So toxicity is realizing, what are you willing to keep dealing with? And if you're not, then you need to remove yourself, because toxicity won't remove itself. You sometimes have to remove it. It's realizing, though, okay, and I had this as well. I notice how my life becomes when certain people come into it, and no matter how much people try to hoot and holler and scream and shame, I'm like, no, because every time you come into my life, all it is chaos and pain and misery, and I'm not willing to take the hits anymore because you're an asshole. That's your, like, go deal with someone else that wants to deal with you, because it isn't me. So toxicity is sometimes you do have to remove yourself, but realizing, no, this is an environment that is not helping me grow. When a plant is in an environment and it doesn't grow, we don't punish the plant, we don't yell at the plant, we check the soil, we give it water, we make sure that it's getting adequate sunlight. So you as a person, when you're in an environment where you're not growing because you either feel like your pot that you're in is too tightly compressed and you don't have room for your roots to grow, or you're not receiving the adequate amount of sunshine, so you start wilting, right? Or you're not getting the water, so you're not getting like that flow through you. So you wouldn't yell at yourself when you're in an environment where you're not thriving. You would correct the situation gently, right? We are all houseplants with complex emotions. Stop seeing it so much deeper than that, right? Like, we all have basic needs and desires. Everything else is just kind of for the plot line, right? What do you do with your life? And are you hanging around good people? Are you putting good things in your mind? Are you putting good things in your life? And if you're not, that's a you thing. You choose what you put in you. Also, just because they're good for your whole does not mean they're good for your soul. So start realizing, like, yeah, they may feel good, but they may actually be dragging you to hell, because you sleep with not only them, you sleep with all the people that they sleep, and you sleep with all the people that they sleep with energetically and every other way. So realizing, you know what, this is not worth ruining my good time or what I have going on down the road. So toxicity, removing yourself so you can put in better things. There's something I'm hiding from you. Yeah. So you're not seeing everything. You may not be seeing addictions. You may not be seeing financials, is what that feels like. Like, there's a money paper trail. And once you see it, you're like, no, this is, because sometimes we start looking at people and we're like, you know what? There's no point of return. If you have to sing Phantom of the Opera, because I'm a music girl, Phantom of the Opera, like, past the point of no return, right? It's realizing, you know what, once we reach this, we can't go back to that. So for your own dignity, or if you go back to that, it's like, no, we have to have real discussions and real repairs here, right? Responsibility is a response. You took in the information, you know how to fix it. So that part of it is realizing that when people are actually fixing things, we work with them. And if they're not, we got to keep going. So if you're not seeing everything, you have to make the decisions based on what you see. You can't be like, oh, I feel this way for them. No, you have to protect you. You have to protect what it is you love. And if that is a grown adult, or even like a teenager, and you're like, no, you knew better. You wanted me to take the fall. You wanted your cake and eat it too. So realizing, no, you have to start creating those true boundaries with people. Stop letting people play in your face, please. Okay, I know I said I was about to go, and then I started some more. So I'm going to do these last few cards, and then we're going to go. I really am going to go, I promise. Okay, so I am so sorry, right? Because I started telling people, I'm like, we just didn't have to do all this. This could have been an apology 3 years ago, not this whole war. So I'm so sorry. Well, they have to actually be responsible and, do the right thing. Long distance. This may be someone, and sometimes people are kept at a distance because it's like, if they were to be that close to you, then they would tell you everything. So long distance, realizing, okay, that Distance is for protection. Mentally, physically, emotionally, whichever way you need it. Okay. And then in reverse, I'm done playing games. So it's in reverse. So they're not done. So be happy they're away. I'm battling inner demons. You don't need to jump into the water with them, I promise. I'm battling inner demons. When they're ready, they'll get up. I ran away because I feel I couldn't live up to your needs and expectations. Well, that's not a you problem. They have to rise up. And please be patient with me. Okay. I'm gonna start packing up, but we're gonna talk about addictions for just one moment as I'm getting ready to hop out, because I was having this conversation and because I've battled addiction, right? Like I've battled alcoholism. I came from a family of alcoholics. I was married to an alcoholic. It's very problematic when you have professional positions and still alcohol, right? And alcoholism is a problem. It's a very widespread one, and that is one of the biggest illnesses and diseases that affects our family life and our country and everything, right? All that being said, I've had my own addiction struggles with that. You have to choose. It's a conscious choice, right? Just like love, it's a conscious choice. Just like cheating, habits, anything, it's a conscious choice. So you can't guilt anyone into anything. You can't shame them into anything. They have to decide. And yeah, not every day is an easy day, and some days we slip, yet it is a decision. So even if you love an addict, sometimes you have to say, I love you, and I can't. And I had to do this recently with one of the people that I'm close with, where I'm like, I love you, and this is unacceptable behavior. And when you can act right, then you can come talk to me. And until then, I have to bid you adieu. Like, I love it. And when people want to say, oh, it's so hard, no, I've walked that path. I've dug myself out of that fucking ditch, and I'm not willing to get back in that ditch with you, because you can't figure it out and wake up and grow up, right? So stop getting in hell with people and realize that they need to clean up their own messes. Please. You can offer them, a warm blanket and a cup of tea when they get out of hell, but you can't get in there with them, okay? Because if you keep doing it, you're going to get sucked right back into that. It's like when you give up addiction, they tell you can't go hang out in the places that you used to hang out, because you'll slide right back in. So that, as well as loving people, especially if you've had your own addictions, is realizing I can't get in that water with you because I myself will drown. So, all right, my loves. I am Lara Joe, Siren Song Lover, and I will catch you guys